Well, good evening, Internets. It's me, DP Knudten, for another edition of BOOKWARD BOUND, my 301-day daily live stream journey from I should really do this to done. And that done is getting a new book done by January 1st, 2021, so that I can upload press-ready PDF files to Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing platform and self-produce a new book. And that's exactly what I'm doing with your help every single night for 301 consecutive days. Why 301 days? Well, because when I got back from social media marketing world in San Diego this year, I got back on, I think it went through Wednesday, so I was back Thursday. And then on that Friday, the 5th of March, 2020, I decided to put into practice some of the things I learned at Social Media Marketing World this year. And actually, I learned last year as well. Is that going to pulse the whole time? That's going to be interesting. Check 1, 2. Huh. I got this new neon thing. Where is it? It's right over there. Neon guitar. I thought it would be kind of cool in the background, but it seems like it has a mind of its own. And I don't know if that's the camera adjusting to it or it actually interacting with some of the electrical signal that may be going through my entire house's electrical system. But I think I might have to turn that off. But we're going to leave it on for now because it adds a little flavor. And maybe I'll turn it into a mascot for this show. You know, hey, guitar, how are you doing tonight? I'm doing pretty well, DP. Well, anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about what I'm doing. So what am I doing tonight? Well, I'm writing the book. I'm working on the book. And in this case, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Scrivener, which you see before you right now. And I am going to look at this piece of writing that I did before. It's only 528 words, but it's covering something really important, a concept I call the talent economy. And it's all based on this. Amazon is opening its first full-size cashierless grocery store. Here's a first look inside. And you can actually read the whole thing at blankety blankety blank. You know what that is? A meteor coming for about 3.5 million people. Americans. All right, so according to Wolfram Alpha, that's the number of Americans facing a really hard truth that they probably haven't even heard, that they probably are completely unaware. That they are probably completely unaware of which of. I don't know. I know this is a dangling participle, right? But of which they are probably completely unaware. The Amazon cashierless store is coming fast. You don't have to be Nostradamus to see that this is going to displace a whole lot of people, many of whom can least afford it. There are currently around 3.5 million cashiers in stores around the U.S. Yes. And and the global pandemic is having a tremendous negative effects on retail and many industry analysts are saying it's likely many of those currently shuttered stores will never reopen. Add to that what Amazon's already demonstrating working on and rolling out to other retailers. And you've got a whole lot of task-oriented workers facing an uncertain future at best. Oh, how about another task-oriented job? The over-the-road trucker. If you're long haul driver, what are you going to do when that entire job sector disappears practically overnight, once self-driving trucks are the dominant means of getting goods to and from major metro areas? That's another .5. Satiation. So that's 3.7 million. I think the inevitable loss of around 7 million jobs might have some significant social implications. Yes, and the list can go on and on. Face it, it's time. It's time to face the music. Dissonant as it may be, the task economy is dead or dying fast. Personal nightmare? No. Personal brand. Sad to say, the days of simply being good at your job are over. It joins such concepts as a job for life in the basket of what was and no longer can be. So what do you do to counter the inevitable? Develop your talents and package yourself as a brand. Develop your talents. Demonstrate your worth and package yourself as a brand. Performing brilliantly in obscurity is not a winning strategy. Unlike other parts of the country, here in the great Midwest of America, it's not all that cool to tout your accomplishments. It's not due to any innate inferiority complex, it's just baked into the culture. I keep thinking I've already written about this in this book, and I may have, who knows. I chalk it up to hide your light under the bushel syndrome. Despite what the biblical injunction says, hide your light. Let's see. Your light. Sermon on the Mount. Yep. Lamp under a bushel. It's just baked into the culture. I chalk it up to learned. It should be ingrained. Despite what the biblical injunction says, that's exactly what most of us here do. Most of us do here. But again, just working hard, keeping your head down, and getting things done isn't enough anymore. I use just too much, so I'm going to get rid of it. Isn't enough anymore. And soon AI will be able to do all that better if it can't already. We'll be able to do way too many jobs. Way better than humans can with no benefits required. With no expensive days off. Or benefits required. Remember way back when, let's say 5 years ago, when your boss or manager could commandeer the kudos your work deserved for themselves? That's still going to happen, but now you have a global stage and audience waiting for you. All it takes to And all it takes to reclaim those kudos is a blog post, video, case study, article, etc., shared via social media. Now, let's be clear. I'm not talking about sharing someone else's intellectual property, but there are a bunch of canny ways to get the word out without spilling any copyrighted beans. Your client's intellectual property. Talent is purely qualitative, and the only way to prove your quality is to demonstrate it. Sorry, resume nerds, talent cannot be quantified on paper or crawled by bots. It must be demonstrated in person. It must be demonstrated in person and online. In person, online. Yeah, let's leave that out. But guess what? Social media allows you to be virtually in person with every online person. With everyone online. Allows you to be virtually with potentially around the globe. You don't have to look for examples of this in action. Need an exemplar? Just look at, what am I saying? Hold on, I need to go to my blog. Signing in, and I'm looking for talent economy. Come on, there you go. Come on, slow internet, what's going on? Let's go to posts. It's kind of a slow night. What can I say? Next level's up. All right. Haven't written about it. Oh, well. So anyway, this is a new section that I'm working on, and I need to obviously do significant more work on it. Take a look at the people you follow. On LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Each of those people have earned a place in your head and during your day. How did they do it? What do they do that you find most interesting and valuable? These are the questions you need to start asking yourself as you engage with the social posts they're sharing. Let these people be your teacher. You were doing something right. Doing something right. How do you beat the coming meteor? Embrace your personal superstar. Probably ready for the good news about personal branding. All right. Yeah. I'm not loving what's happening right now. So I'm not going to force it. I'm just not going to force it. Because I'm writing this book. It's going to take a while to do. And I've got plenty of time to do it. Plenty of days left. If I'm not feeling really like I've got a lot of gas in the tank, like tonight, cool. I don't have to. I'm not on deadline. I have a hard deadline, which I'm working toward. I've allotted myself the time to get there. So I'm not going to beat myself up about not being brilliant tonight. Because here's the thing. Creativity is difficult, and great creativity is beyond difficult. It's, so if you're not feeling it, put it aside. Let your subconscious work on it overnight or over several days if you need to. And you will, when you give yourself time, you will be able to overcome those obstacles. You have to trust yourself and your creativity. That's what I've learned over going on close to 30 years as a creative professional, as a copywriter and creative director in the advertising and marketing field. So I'm done for tonight. Sorry, not feeling it. But thanks anyway for showing up and keeping me honest and keeping me working forward in my book, because that's the only way it's going to get done. I'm DP Knudten for the Nonfiction Brand podcast, which comes out every Monday. Earlier today, I edited Monday's episode it's a second half conversation with Roger Wakefield, who was also in Monday's episode, this previous Monday's. So I always do 2 weeks consecutively with the same guest. You'll definitely want to listen to both of those with Roger, because what he's doing as a plumber, to build his personal brand is amazing and absolutely perfectly illustrative of all the concepts I'm writing about in this book. So again, you can get the Nonfiction Brand podcast wherever fine podcasts are free: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, yada, yada, ding dong. It's all over the place. Easy to find. So check that out. And I will see you tomorrow. So, theme music, take us on out.